through these problems on page 8. So suppose let's pretend our car is moving along like that at 25 meters a second, and the brakes can apply a force of 5,000 newtons. Right, so if it's moving that way, and I want to draw my force diagram, here's my system, must be on the ground. Gravity and normal must be the same. It asks for quantitative, so they don't actually want labels, they want numbers. And it's slowing down, it's got a brake force of 5,000 newtons, so I know that's 5,000 newtons. It's a 1,000 kg car, so that my force of gravity must be 9.8 times bigger, and this must be the same size as well. Right, calculate the acceleration of the car. Now this is my net force equals ma. Excuse me, I just ate an apple. And I want to work out the acceleration. I've got my net force, it's 5,000 because those two cancel out. I've got my mass, that's 1,000. So if I rearrange, I divide both sides by m. I get A equals total force over m equals 5,000 divided by 1,000, and that equals 5 meters per second squared. Is it positive or negative? It's moving that way and it's slowing down. It must be negative. Good question. -5. Cool. Because I guess if it's going this way, that's my positive direction. So you can see that this here is in the negative direction compared to my positive direction. That's why it's negative. So really this should be -5,000 divided by 1,000. What's the minimum distance required to stop? So that's when I look on my, what have I got? I've got my acceleration equals -5 meters per second squared. I want to know my distance. I know my final velocity is 0 meters a second. I know my initial velocity up here equals 25 meters a second. And then I go back onto here and I see which formula has these things in it. It's one without t. I don't have t. So it's going to be this last one. Because I've got VF, VI, 2A and D. So VF squared equals VI squared, go away, plus 2AD. I might put my numbers in first and then do some rearranging. So the final velocity is going to be 0, squared is 0, equals initial velocity squared, 25 squared, plus 2 times -5 times D. So 0 equals 25 squared is, if I did that on my calculator, I'm not going to, but I think it's 625, plus -10 times D. So that's what 2 times -5 is. I'm going to minus 625 on both sides. Then I get minus 625 equals minus 10D. And then I'm going to divide by minus 10. And that gives me 62.5 equals D. And the answer is 63 to 2 significant figures. Cool. Oh.